All right, so picture it's 2025,
Mm-hmm.
and parents are now asking ChatGPT or Claude or their AI of choice how to respond to their kid's tantrum while the tantrum's happening.
Oh, I was gonna say okay, but no. Or this is also great. Their 8-year-old just spent $200 at Sephora because they saw a new anti-aging routine on TikTok.
I know people who sell that stuff. Probably their 8-year-olds. And we're also supposed to be gently parenting through it all.
Right. I really feel like, if you're a parent and you're trying to figure it out, or you're just going with the vibes and
Vibe parenting.
vibe parenting. One day at a time.
All right, we're about to get it in, talk about ourselves and a lot of the current parenting trends of 2025. So buckle up. Welcome to episode 59 of the Parents and Professors podcast.
Yo, parents, yo, parents, yo, parents and professors. Yo, parents, yo, parents, yo, parents and professors.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Parents and Professors podcast. I am Dr. Marjorie Dorman Williams, and I'm joined by my co-host.
And I am Dr. Michael Stephen Williams. We're your favorite triple C's, co-parents, colleagues, and collaborators. And today we're diving into some of the most talked about and most controversial parenting trends of 2025.
All right. I'm just going to try now to not get too worked up. But we are going to be talking about gentle parenting versus permissive parenting, because there is a difference. And people don't seem to know that anymore.
Yeah, we're getting into this. This was an older one, but I can't believe it's still going on about Sephora kids and why your third grader thinks they need a 10-step skincare routine.
I don't even have a 10-step routine. So, what are we doing?
I know some influencers that do, and they have certain products that are holding them down. So I'm with it, but not for my 8-year-old.
No. And we're also discussing AI in parenting because, yes, like many other things, people are now outsourcing bedtime stories and discipline to the robots.
Yeah. We also got to talk about sharenting.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Sharenting. And the fine line between sharing your parenting journey and turning your child into content without their consent. That commercial is scary.
Yeah. Do you want to? We'll come back to that. Yeah, because I want to talk about the commercial.
Yeah.
But as always, we want to give our usual disclaimer.
Yeah, so everything we discuss on this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The views we share are our own and based on personal experiences, publicly available information, and general industry knowledge.
So we are not your therapists. We are not pediatricians. We're not your lawyers.
But if you call me daddy. No, just kidding. We're just two professors who happen to be co-parents.
And I know that makes us unicorns because we appear to be having a good time. But with that said, let's get right into it.
I heard you actually have a confession to make.
Oh, I do, right? Because this is it's not just us judging other people. I think we're, want to be reflective of our parenting practices. And I was thinking about, so before we started recording, I don't even remember exactly what the thing that happened was, but I do remember that I was very, very angry, like yelling angry. And I might speak in a stern and loud tone to my children, but I think of it differently than yelling.
Wait, which one were you yelling at?
It might have been both. I think it was both of them.
Oh, they might draw that out of you, though. Because when they're bickering with each other, they're so mean that I feel like I have to intervene. Yeah, like it stresses me out. It's like,
yes.
You know what it's like? It's like hanging out with a couple that needs to get a divorce.
No one's having fun.
Yeah, like, clearly you guys are not enjoying each other's company. And maybe you should retreat to your respective corners.
Yeah. And so I was so upset, and now I'm yelling at them and I'm like sweating, like it's a whole thing. And afterwards I'm like, I'm just feeding into the thing that I'm trying to get them to see is unproductive in the first place. And so no, I don't want to be yelling at my kids. I don't want an elevated blood pressure. But I recognize that nobody's perfect. I'm not the Lord.
Are you the Lord?
But I do feel like there's often this feeling of needing to parent the right way, right? Like, how can we be better parents? Think of how many books are all about what's on in fact, my nightstand right now. What is it? Smartest Kids in the World, or whatever that one is. And I'm rereading Tangled.
Oh, Tangled feels like almost quarterly.
And
I need to revisit a couple chapters from it.
After I finished Tangled, then someone recommended 10 to 25. So it's about motivating young people, essentially your kids.
Oh, really? I've never heard of that one before. I'd be interested.
Yeah, I'll share it. I'll put it in. We'll put it in the show. We'll put all of these in the show notes. But I do think that it's really, I think, challenging sometimes as a parent, because you're like, here are all the ways that you can, screw up your kid and, send them to therapy later on. And so I just feel like it's really important to recognize that we're all, most of us are doing the best we can.
So wait, so is this are we sharing moments where we're not gentle or intentional?
It was not a moment of gentle parenting, for
it's stuff
sure.
that you wouldn't want on social media, essentially.
I wouldn't want somebody to record that and then post it for the world to see.
There are some trends that I've been finding hilarious, and I realize that they overlap with the Sharenting piece.
Oh.
So there's a couple of TikTok/Instagram trends that I've seen, and the ones that have been cracking me up the most recently have been where people are putting praise music underneath.
Oh no.
Either children's tantrums or their man watching football. And
why are we pairing these things together?
It has produced hilarity. I will fall into when you feel yourself falling into the phone loop. Yes. I've fallen into the phone loop watching
these videos.
Yeah, because it'll be like, Jesus, I need you. And then a little kid just falls out and is knocking things over. Or all the ways that they just throw their body on the floor. Any parent who has seen a tantrum from a child anywhere between the age of 2 when they start understanding no, and probably the age of 22 would get down with these videos.
And you know what? I think back to, I feel like we probably posted a video of Maximilian. There was a time where he didn't want to come pick me up or something. I don't know. You had him and he was in tears in the car.
Him. I don't want to pick up mommy.
I don't know what I did to deserve this.
Yeah, nah. That was
But you mentioned Sharenting, and I don't know that everybody knows what that is.
Okay, so you should describe it. Because you're good at these things.
So essentially it's what it sounds like ways that people share their parenting. But in the context of social media and I think technology, it's really about how much we share about our children and the ways that can actually potentially create really dangerous situations, because now complete strangers have total access to your family life, your child, who they are, what they look like, their activities, the things that they do with their friends, the places they hang out. And we're sharing these moments as, innocently to say hey, I'm sharing for my family and my friends, and this funny thing happened, right? For people to keep up or to build community, or it seems innocent enough. And there's a commercial.
Oh, that commercial
Instagram video.
Creepy.
It's probably Instagram video because I don't really watch live TV. So if I said I saw a commercial, it was probably on Instagram. Right. You saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah. Where the little girl is walking around and all these strangers keep rolling up to her and congratulating her for different things.
Yeah. It's happy birthday, Charlotte. And it's do you know that lady? And it's no.
It's great job at your performance the other day, Charlotte. And I was like, ooh, that one hit a little too close to home because my eldest plays the cello, and I be thinking about hashtags that I want to start all the time because I miss being a dance dad. That was my joint back in the day. Oh. And in fact, me and my daughter have a book that we exchange where we talk about memories and things that we hope for each other. And one of the things that I was looking back at old entries because we just reignited it. And she talks about how we ate and left no crumbs in the daddy-daughter dance back when I was a dance dad. And so now I was like, man, she plays the cello. I don't know if orchestra dad is as raw. And there's definitely nothing for me to participate in. I can't, I can't swag them out.
It is not the same.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if people's hands are bowing at the same pace. That's the level of contribution I have to it. But that pride, one of the first things that I did after we left the concert was post to social media.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we went out to dinner and we were talking about the performance. And I sent it to my mom. Like, I sent videos to my mom.
Yeah.
And she was very excited. My mom loves that Macari's musical.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, I was sitting there like, oh, like the musician in my soul really loves this. Like,
Yeah. But what's the line? Like, what? So when are you violating and sharenting versus just kind of keeping people up to date? Because I know that, like, I'm more likely to share my children in stories. And then if it's a post, it's usually either just featuring one kid where I'm going a little bit deeper, like usually for their birthdays or if they've done something or accomplished something. But I'm not posting my kids every day. Like, that's just not.
No, that's true. So part of the thing that I guess distinguishes like the term sharenting or that issue is also thinking about consent, right? And I am 99.9% sure that most of these parents are not giving their kids consent forms and asking whether or not.
Oh, they gave me verbal consent.
Right. Like,
I learned that from IRB.
That's real, right? Like, now it's different if you say, can I share this? Can I post this? And there are some, like parenting influencers who do make a point to say, yes, like I asked my kids before we post things, or like they're doing it with their children, right? Like there's the smart girl who her dad is going bankrupt because he keeps challenging her to these like sciencey challenges. And then she'd be like, wow, puts on her glasses and then does it. And he'd be like, bah, here's $100. So, right, like that's and that is all that is the focus of the content.
Yeah, I guess
right?
I'm trying to think about it in terms of, so I'll never post anything. Sorry for wandering away from the microphone after scolding you about it. So I seldom post my kids without showing them what I posted. And only once have I had a request for a takedown and I took it down. Is that enough? Or like, is it what, I guess, how do you get there? Is it like a frequency thing? Is it the type of things that you're sharing? Is it because there's also people who are clearly like monetizing their children in a way. I was like, man, my kids are cute. The youngest kid, I could be getting some, speaking of the shea butter skin cream, I'm like, yeah, she just washes her face and it looks like she has a 20-step skincare routine.
I mean, it is so. Okay, so two things, because your comment about her skin routine also made me think of something. So for the sharenting, I think there are both short-term and long-term considerations, right? So in the short term, like you said, hey, like, is it okay if I post this? Or hey, I'm going to post this. And, if there's a request to take it down. The other is if you're thinking long-term. So Maximilian has pictures from when he was a baby, right?
Infant.
And so as kids get older and this content is still online and then they're like getting made fun of for it or people are pulling it to
somebody try to get you in a rap battle,
right? Yeah, like nefarious reasons or purposes. And so when we created his account 14 years ago, we weren't thinking about someone might decide to use this 10 years from now to bully our son.
Find the password.
Like, oh no, that shit is.
You're not bullying my son either. I think we've covered that in previous episodes. Yeah, like I don't.
I'll give you book.
I'm not worried about that.
No, you'll play yourself if you try to fight my son. But there are these sort of long-term considerations that we don't know because it's happening right now. And then of course there's sort of these like legal, ethical considerations of when you put these things on social media platforms, it becomes public. Right? You no longer own the rights to. You
lose the rights to it.
This content, and it can be used in any kind of.
And that's related to all these. Nefarious is a great word. It's a word that I enjoy a great deal.
Very good word.
But that connects me to a lot of the terms and conditions stuff that's going on with AI in all your apps and your Google. You have to actively go in,
opt out
in order for them not to train AI on your emails and your private conversations because you're consenting. If you don't opt out, they can just be up in there doing what they need to do. And
your comment about essentially parents outsourcing parenting to AI, that is you also equipping AI with information about you and your child and your family.
Yeah. So they know. My concern with AI, and this is probably, it's related to parenting, but it's related to just life in general, is they're collecting so much information about you, about the nature of your work, about the things that you concern yourself with, and people will just I watch people turn to ChatGPT for the simplest of tasks, and it's helped me adjust.
Oh, say more.
Well, like there's some things where I'm like, why are you asking it that? And then I'm like, oh, they're building a ChatGPT browser to compete with Google. What does that mean? Google's whole business model is about ads and targeting.
Mm-hmm.
So if ChatGPT knows every member of your family, it knows everything that you search, it knows everything that you're asking about work, it knows everything that you're concerned about, it knows every shortcut that you're taking.
Yeah, you're building a library for
For them to target.
sell you.
Yeah,
You are the
literally
product.
so think of the number of touch points. Think of the way that they can narrow down how to target exactly things that you would want or that you would buy.
It's I'm actually reading right now. Okay, Weapons of Math Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially it's all about this, right? Like the problem that is driven by algorithms and how math on the surface is this like, oh, it's really objective and it's all just numbers, and where it has nothing to do with insert all of the biases that we have that we feed into the machine, and so the machine just gets really good at perpetuating the bias. But she talks about how there's an algorithm to college admissions, right? And who gets left out and who doesn't, but also how for-profits can use all the information that they gain about people to then target them to say, hey, we know that you're really devastated because your mom is sick and you wish you could make more money to help take care of her. You should sign up for our university because the degree is how you'll be able to make more money. Here you go. Sign up right here.
Yeah.
And that they're just getting better and better at it because of how algorithms and AI is.
Yeah, targeting and retargeting has always been a little bit scary, but now with all of the information that you're feeding AI without thinking about it. Yeah.
And that people become too dependent on it. Like, it's something that I'm always thinking about. And I'm like, okay, is this something that I can really just search on the internet myself? Or is this something that I can figure out myself? Versus this really is a low-level task that I'm just outsourcing. So packing, ChatGPT does my packing for me. I'm like, here's where I'm going. Here's the weather. Here's the type of things I'm going to participate in. I need to have gym clothes for this many days. And I hate being cold. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, and a carry-on and backpack.
You used an entire water bottle for packing?
Yes.
Shamelessly. So I think there's a couple of pieces of the AI conversation that are particularly interesting and concerning to me. I think the one that is most concerning is we're in a generation where kids were kind of taught to take shortcuts and to be socially away from each other.
Currently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like all the kids that went through COVID, we know just from actual being in schools and school related research that some of the greatest costs of COVID are children's ability to interact socially.
Yes.
And they come back to the school. A lot of them are still finding their way back to themselves.
And still don't know how to socialize.
Yeah. And so I'm very concerned about that. I think chatbots, in the same way that Google, I mean, there obviously will be some kind of adjustment, but your ability to talk to people and to ask people, but also to trust that people have expertise and that there are other people who know better than the generic answer that your chat machine is going to spit out what's going on with particular topics. Like, that's my biggest concern. I think not even from a job security standpoint, because I think anybody who pursues advanced education has a sense of the value of it.
Yes.
Like, I'm a more robust thinker because I was sitting in class and arguing with these people that I otherwise wouldn't have. But with the declining public trust in higher education, even if we're right, it doesn't mean that people won't think that they could do ChatGPT University and that they would actually be competitive with somebody who's really done it. And I'm worried that there are going to be too many people that FAFO. Because they get into the job market and they think it's all good.
Because they
then
ChatGPT their way through whatever.
yeah, because it's the same way like all the like all the tech billionaires and all the politicians who are like, oh, college, get out of here, but where are their kids? Or like, oh, social media.
Montessori schools with no technology and no cell phones and no social media. And you best believe that there are places waiting for all of those kids because there are donations that are going to be attached to their attendance. So let them tell you that you don't need college if you want to, but know where they're going and know where their kids are going.
But I think if you're in a generation that's learned to solve problems through the computer or through a screen, and you add to it the proliferation of all these chat things. I mean, like doesn't the state of California have a relationship with ChatGPT? Aren't they doing like AI?
State?
Yeah, I think the state system, I think the Cal State system actually contract. I'll have to look that up. Now we're getting a little too deep. But
okay, that's
I'm pretty sure I read a story about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were firing all these faculty.
And that everybody was going to use AI everywhere, all over campus, and it was going to solve all their problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And it's interesting because looking at the educational technology space, and again, as a parent, we have been sold this idea that more screens and more computers somehow translate to better student outcomes. And not only has that not happened, it has been the opposite. Let that sink in, okay? And so when now we're like, oh, okay, maybe this wasn't the panacea we thought it'd be. Cool. We need to course correct. I am amazed at how many, and not just kids, because that's their job. You don't know any better than your kids, and you want what you want, and they'd have candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they could. But parents who are actively arguing against this attempt to course correct, and whether it's cell phone or technology in the classroom, and I've even heard some teachers say things. It's like,
oh, the cell phone stuff is
but
tough.
the research and the data do not support your personal business, and it's no different than smoking or drinking alcohol or any of the other things that we do as adults. That that's not good for you. Really, you don't need to be doing that. But you're an adult, and I think that it's a different.
Well, doesn't that kind of connect to the previous conversation though? So, there's some things that your kids can consent to, and there's some ways that you're just going to tell them what it's going to be.
Right.
So, with technology, where's the line?
You know what? I'm all for what Australia did as an example.
What did Australia do?
They said, listen, we know that this is not good for young people.
Wait, what is this?
Social
Technology?
media. Social media specifically.
Okay. I was like, wait.
Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and just all the things. We know this isn't good. We know this. Of all the promises and all the things, a lot of it is cesspool-y nonsense. It's
predatory.
Thank you. It's predatory. It is cyberbullying. In fact, on the policy committee, we have spent the last 3 months talking about our bullying policy because of cyberbullying specifically. And how do we talk about something well, it's not taking place on school grounds, and technically they're not using school property. So
but they wouldn't know the people to bully if they didn't go to the same school. So where's
our rules and our laws and our policies have not kept up with the pace of technology and innovation. I think.
Oh, I've heard that refrain so many times.
And the idea that but I would have to do something different, or it'd be hard to tell my kid no, or but they like it.
I'll beat your kid for you.
Again,
I feel like that's a consulting business that I would want to, maybe we need to lean into that. Do you need your kids beaten?
Right,
do you need to undo years of gentle parenting?
Who was that nanny lady from London? She was a British nanny, but was very no nonsense.
She just regulating on people?
Yes, and she was essentially what are you doing?
Like Fran Drescher, the nanny. Actually, the nanny.
So yeah, what are we doing?
Mm.
And
so wait, that actually, let me jump here.
Okay.
Because that's a bridge to me because I know we wanted to talk about gentle parenting.
Right, because all of this, yes.
Yeah, and I think the technology piece is directly connected to it because I am fervently and fundamentally against children having cell phones. If you can't drive, and you can't pay the bill yourself, I believe that you should not have one, except in extreme circumstances.
Right.
And I find myself in arguments. The research backs it, but I find myself in like arguments with people who swear that they have their children's best interest at heart, and really they don't want to put their foot down and take the phone back. They feel like it's Pandora's box, and once
I've already
it's been
given
opened
it up.
yeah. And I'm like, today's a new day.
Or, well, their other friends have cell phones. So if they don't have a cell phone, then they'll be left out.
Yo,
Left out of what?
You know how hard we were kicking it with no phones?
Again, but left out of what? Like that's so
Left out of the group chat?
you don't need a cell phone to have a group chat.
Yeah, you could definitely do that from the computer these days.
Hello, AIM. Like
AIM throwback.
it's like people forgot there were all these other ways of communicating. Like when I say I have a house phone, people are like, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, so that my kids can't talk about, I want to talk to I want a cell phone to talk to my friends.
Oh,
This house phone is all you. I won't even touch it.
That's
In
my
fact,
favorite lie.
I have two.
Yeah.
So each of you can have one in your room if you want. That's how much flexibility I'm giving you.
I have a house phone as well, and I promise you I've seen them use it like 6 times. And most of the time that I know they're using it to call me. Dad, I forgot. Hey, Dad, in your car.
So Makaria's friends will call her on the house phone. They will call her. I don't know if they call here, but they call her at my place.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like,
They just come over when they're...
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Or what about texting? Listen, we have computers all over the house. You both have email and access to messaging.
Texting is also a less intimate form of communication than actually talking.
And they don't do it well.
Yeah.
So please, I would love to hear. Like, please, y'all, tell me, what am I tripping? Because I feel like there isn't anything that I've heard that sounds like a compelling argument. Like, yes, we need to keep cell phones in our kids' hands because they need to make TikTok videos or Snapchat with their friends.
Well, if you're going to do all the body motions
Sorry.
like that, you're making it sound...
Crazy?
Yeah, deeply whack already. I mean, but you can't make up the mind for people.
No, but again, I would love to hear something compelling, right? Something where I was like, actually, that's a really good point.
Well, that doesn't exist. We already know that.
But I would love to hear it though, because there are all of these people who would fight us about, but my kid needs to have their cell phone.
What would it be and what...
I'm sorry.
What evidence would be compelling to you?
The number one thing is, that I hear is, well, they need to have a cell phone in case something happens. In the case of an emergency. Or
Why are they somewhere with no adults and nobody else with a phone?
at least before they're driving. Like, they're never anywhere where you don't know where they are.
Or at least they shouldn't be.
I mean, that's a choice too. So, like, in fact, today we were at something on campus and Maximilian had something else to be at. And I was like, yo, walk down the street, make a left, follow the road. You've been to this building 1,000,000 times. I know you can get there from here. And I was like, go. And it was you just sent him out there? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, but how are you going to know when he gets there? I was like, either he'll get there or he won't. And if he doesn't and gets lost, he'll come back.
Yes.
And it was just like, huh? Okay. I was like, yeah, free range kids.
I am amazed. That's not even free range. That's expecting a modicum of independence.
It really was like a block.
Yeah. but the...
Two.
I think the issue is sentiment has changed that much that there's almost this perceived lack of safety. Like if you let your kid do things on their own,
you are not keeping them safe.
Whereas I feel like the opposite is actually true.
Yes.
If you don't teach them how to move around the world,
that makes them less safe.
Yeah.
And it's even, I think when we talked about the gentle parenting thing, I feel like one of my frustrations when I see or hear people having those conversations are that it's often seen as though by being a gentle parent, and that's, considering your kids' emotions and being empathetic and that they have feelings too when you treat them like a person.
Am I not a gentle parent because I don't care what my kids think if I know what I'm telling them is right?
if you don't care what they think.
So I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think the idea of caring what your children think is very interesting to me because
But you do care what they think.
I care what they think. I care about their emotional life. I care
Yes.
that they understand the connection between what I'm offering them and what they do. But that's where it ends. Because if I tell you to turn that off, or if I ask you to be home by a certain time, or if I say that you're not leaving the house wearing this,
Yes.
if you continue to feel some type of way after I've clearly explained myself and the why, now I don't care. You're just going to do what I say. So do you gentle parent first?
So, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, like is it a structural thing? Like how much gentle parenting is enough? Because I would never consider myself a gentle parent. That's not the terminology that feels comfortable to me.
That's fair.
But I don't consider myself a parent that doesn't care about their child's feelings.
Right. I mean, I think that's so I am sure there are plenty of our listeners who can relate to, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, that's how we grew up.
I would get called a female private part by my mom. And like,
Your mom's diabolical.
yeah, and other women of influence. If my boo-hooing exceeded expected limitations for a boy.
Not boohooing. I can't. So, but right, like that is a very different approach where our feelings truly did not matter. And it wasn't to say that I think we have similar perspectives as our parents with regard to, we have rules and expectations for being a member of this family and what is allowable in this house.
Yeah.
And I think the difference though is our parents are like, and I don't really care how you feel about it. Whereas I can say,
Yeah,
hey, I get
feel.
that you might feel upset or frustrated or disappointed or whatever. These are still the rules of the house. You can feel what you want to feel.
Because it's the same thing. Like to me, so the 5-year-old is an easy window to this for me. She came into my room at 10 p.m. and was like, "Puppy, can I have this soda?" And I was like,
Why?
"No, and get out of my room. Why are you asking me that at 10 p.m. at night? Shouldn't you have brushed your teeth already? Why aren't you in the bed?" But I realized in that, like, all right, what's the gentle parenting approach to that? Like, hey, little buddy.
No,
That's an inappropriate question at
that
this time of
doesn't.
night.
No, that doesn't require. That doesn't feel like a gentle parenting situation.
Yeah, so what's a gentle parenting situation? Help
I
me.
think it's more of a like, hey, we're gonna. I know you wanted to go to this dance. That's a good one because they both are now in the like, I just want to dance phase, right? There's a party, there's a dance. Hey, I know you wanted to go to this dance, but we have some other thing that's more important. So you're not going to the dance. Now, gentle parenting would acknowledge that.
Oh, that actually happened.
Right? Like, hey, whatever feelings of like frustration or disappointment or like, yo, you might actually just be upset. Like, I already bought my ticket. Yo, I feel you.
We don't have $3.
I feel you, right? Like that is, and I think that understanding and perspective, you are allowed to feel that. Yes, like I understand your disappointment. That doesn't change the outcome of the thing that we're doing because that's what we have to do. But I think when you think about gentle parenting, hey, bud, I had conversations. It was more of the decision was still the decision, but there was much more.
So you think gentle parenting is just the idea, it like propagates the idea that everything is up for negotiation.
Yes. And I feel like when people, they'll see like, also social media is trash. So, some kid yelling at their mom, "Shut the F up, mom," and like slapping them or something.
Oh,
and it's like,
it's still alive?
right, exactly. And people like, that's that gentle parenting BS. And it's like, that's not, first of all, that person is not parenting at all. So like,
I just felt my soul conjure a belt that's just spinning on the tip of my finger. I was like, I will beat him for you. Wow.
it was now I have to. It was a crazy video. It was really like.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff in real life where I'm like, man,
yeah.
I hope that my children know
They do.
that it would not go like that.
Because nothing like that has ever happened to either of us.
Regardless of where we were.
Ever.
Is that only because they've been appropriately snatched up in private?
It's called parenting. Like,
not gentle, just parenting.
I don't think you need to be a gentle parent all the time. I think parenting requires, you have a toolbox of parenting.
You put your hands together like there was actually something.
Here's mine is pink with sparkles, and inside we have gentle parenting. And you know what? Sometimes I might be a permissive parent, especially if we're in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, no. I don't think I'm ever a permissive parent.
These different ways that we approach, and not just parenting in general, because some people also have multiple kids. So your approach to parenting has to.
Yeah, I think it's so. One of the things that I saw about gentle parenting overall was this idea of like conflict avoidance and like by people pleasing. Essentially, that's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I moved toward conflict
very quickly.
Yeah, so like it would just never work for me as a son. But same thing with the kids. I'm like, all right, explain your thinking to me. Explain why you think the reaction that you just had is reasonable.
Right. That would I think qualify as gentle parenting. And so now I feel like it also makes me think about all the things that we talked about today, right? Like kids being on social media and the Sephora kids. Hold on.
Nah, don't open that bucket.
Okay.
You gotta leave that.
So all of it has been, parenting and ChatGPT. Like, yes, there's this component that's about technology, but I also feel like there's something more about both the pros and the cons of having all of this access to other people and information and influencers, but some people are actually experts. And like, there's all of this content being generated around and about what does it mean to be a parent and like what do we mean by being a good parent. And I feel like ultimately all of this is about people wanting to be seen as a good parent, right? Like I don't want to be too strict, I don't want to be too lenient.
You really think it's all ego performance stuff? So because
not all,
yeah,
but there's certainly a component.
I'm trying to think about
there.
like where I fit on that spectrum in terms
when
of
I
like,
share my kids on social media. I mean, what are most of us share? The majority is the highlights. Now, some people are sharing the
tantrums.
Here's a bad day, right?
I feel like those are way juicier.
It's
but
a
it's
bad
also,
day, right? Like it's a bad day. Not I have bad days every day, and like some days are good days and bad days.
You're actually helping me make a connection to my like real ideas about the Sharenting thing, because I'm very conscious of like never wanting to embarrass my children, and so the things that I think are most funny that I have in my phone would probably embarrass them, and so I don't share it.
Like, I'm sure they appreciate it.
Yeah, like they just be like, there's some times where we'll be having a conversation, I'll just be like, button. Like I might need this for research purposes. And in Missouri, you don't have to inform people that you're recording.
God, this place.
It's not for research purposes.
So I'm glad you mentioned research, and I think that's a good place to put a pin in it. But essentially, right, there are all of these opinions and all of these things, even what we just talked about, right, about different perspectives on AI and social media and technology and kids. I think it's also important to look at what the research says. And yes, we know that scientific research evolves over time, and we just can't possibly know everything there is to know about something in the moment. But I think it gives us a really good indicator and direction as to, if we're looking to make informed decisions, like what those decisions should be and like what's actually in the best interest of our kids. So I think we should talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have to go deeper on another episode because there are too many different directions that can go. And there's so much competing research that's coming out that I think it's actually probably valuable for us to get away from our opinions and get into the research.
My opinion is the only thing that matters.
Well, you definitely believe that. I think that's a great place to end this episode of the Parents and Professors Podcast. Peace. If this conversation resonated with you, do us a huge, huge, huge favor. Like the episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on all our socials. I actually be going crazy on Instagram, so that's the best one.
And please feel free to drop a comment below. Tell us what you liked, what you hated, where you'd like us to dig deeper, or even if you think we missed something. We're always learning and growing, and we want to make sure that we're creating content that resonates with viewers like you.
And most importantly, and this is a huge one, if you know somebody who could benefit from hearing the conversations that we're having on this episode, please share. Sharing is caring. We're doing this for the love and to build a community because it matters.
And at the end of the day, that's the most important part, creating spaces where we can have real, honest conversations about the things that matter to you: education, parenting, relationships, and everything in between.
So thanks for being part of our community. Go check out the catalog of other episodes if you haven't. And we look forward to seeing you next time on the Parents and Professors podcast.
No